MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and Candace will be along shortly. She'll be here in just a few moments. How's your day? We are already on Thursday as we head toward the weekend. Looking great. We've got a lot to talk about this morning of what's going in and around the community. And as always, if you've got a community event, we would love to hear from you. Just send us an inbox and we'll pass that along. A big thank you if this is your first time ever joining us. Several ways to watch us. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and also here on MeTV 24 Meridian. That's channel 248 on cable, 24.3 on the local side there. And all the folks joining us from Philadelphia and Newton areas, thank y'all. We do appreciate it on your cable companies as well. Well, as we begin today, let's talk a little bit about the weather as we start this, because we've really got some great weather in store for us. And I started this morning at 6:30 on the regular weather forecast, but let's go back over what to expect. Today, going to be nice, 84 for high only. Now, we will get a little gust of about 20 miles an hour by the afternoon, but overall, today is going to be a Jim Dandy of a day. 84 for a high tonight, our first taste of the 50s. We'll get down to 59 tonight, and by tomorrow, pretty much a ditto of today also. 84 now, we're getting down to 59 tonight. It's going to be perfect. So be ready for some great weather as things start to shape up, and it feels like fall once and for all. Now, over the weekend, we'll get into the upper 80s, but I'm telling you, it is going to be some kind of great weather.
It is.
So be ready for that, or a little relaxing, and it does feel like pumpkin air, so to speak.
Yeah.
So how are you today?
Running. I'm crazy. Feel crazy this morning. I'm a little out of breath.
Things like that happen.
I think I raced up the stairs. Mr. Joe that walks every morning was probably thinking, what was that streak that just flew by me?
I can't jump them stairs like I used to.
Yeah.
I'll be
I'm sorry I'm late, y'all. I was running behind this morning. It could not be helped. Sorry.
Here's a question for you, and this is headlines across the Meridian area tonight, or today rather. $400,000 to rebuild the Frank Cochran Center. How do y'all feel about that? And of course, they $4 million. $4 million. Let me straighten it back.
$4 million. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I think $1 million comes from an insurance policy of where it burned.
Yeah.
And then $3 million would come from a grant. But still, is that? And you have to look at this. Frank Cochran Center was built for folks to rent and have people come, buy whatever product they have. Will people go there and rent that building?
I personally, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, but I don't think that it's going to do as well as it did in the past because of the crime, the issues and the crime. Right. Why not put that money somewhere else that it could be, used better?
That's my thoughts. Okay. But hey, if y'all agree with that, and I'll put up a post later today and let you drop your opinions on if you think it's a great idea. And it could be. I may be overlooking something.
It could be.
Y'all tell me.
We might be wrong, or I might be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know.
I just remember the last event that I knew of that was held at Highland Park in late June. Yeah, there was gunfire. Oh, yeah, and a child got shot in the hand. Who remembers that? And people are going to come rent that building.
Yeah, unless something major changes, I don't see that being a good move.
It'd be like security there and half the police force there at any time that you rented the building.
I wish they could take a portion of that money and move the carousel to a safer area. I think people would like that. Yeah.
But it's thoughts. It's our opinion. And if you don't agree with us, we'd love to hear from you. Because sometimes I get caught up in I don't think that's a great idea, and it's just my thought. But if you've got a better idea, or if you think that is really it on a stick, let us know.
Yeah.
Already pave the streets.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know this. This could be an issue on that. Maybe you can't take insurance money from one thing and use towards.
Right. You might not be able to do that.
And it may be either replace that building or you just put it in the fund. I don't know. I'm not as up to date on politics and the financial end of what has to happen in the city government as I should be.
Right. Well,
Bill Smith, where are you when I need you to answer my questions?
I think all of us are kind of like that. We can give our opinion, but we really don't know the details in the background. So
And there's people that know, and I'll try to ask around and find out the real truth of that, of what can be done. There could be some stipulations there. I see where Trump is going to head to Georgia. He's headed for another big rally there.
I wonder if he ever decided to go to that memorial service for that fallen soldier, or the soldier that was
the Gold Star family.
Right.
That's going to be on the 18th, and it has not been said. I would sure hope that Trump would do that.
Yeah,
he's been invited, and
she invited him. Yeah,
and he's talked, a lot about the Gold Star families. His first round of election when he ran, and during his term, he always took that little extra time there. So let's hope he does.
Yeah,
let's see. Move the carousel to Paley, Tammy said.
It really does. I mean, because a lot of people, and I don't know how much money that brought in for birthday parties and stuff like that, and people just visiting the carousel. But I mean, that's a big, historic thing. Yeah, it's a historical thing, and we want to keep that, as well as we can. I mean, keep it.
Well, with the courthouse moving where the old mall used to be, you would almost think that something could be moved down there along with Jimmy Rogers toward that downtown area.
Because that's a large area.
Yeah.
It's a big area that could be, and with the Children's Museum, down there.
It would almost
be great. That would be a neat thing if they could move it over near there.
Yeah, and if it could be in a parking lot somewhere, that would be good. And Chris Walker pointed out location. And that's everything when buying a house, buying anything you do. Alex Weddington told me that some 35 years ago. He said, "Son, location, look," and he's always been right. And great advice from Alex. We are into today's Thursday, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's
Have
Thursday.
mercy. I'd like to say I have not driven it, but I have put my son's truck back together.
You got it done?
Yeah, and you know what's real bad?
And your fingers are all intact still?
Well, they're kind of dirty. That wouldn't come off. But I finished up I put some tie rod ends. That was the last thing that I put on last night. Put it on, tightened everything back up, put the tire on, walked away, and I thought, did I tighten that bolt? And I climbed back under the truck, and guess what?
You had not.
I didn't even put the bolt on there, so I had to tear everything back off to put that one little nut there on the tie rod end. So Dylan Ray will be able to ride again in his paid-for truck. Let me just say that. That's what makes it look so good.
Oh, yeah.
It may be 20 years old.
That makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it still goes and it's paid for. That's a great thing.
We're gonna limp that bad boy along to that boy finally gets a job one day.
And he'll get a good one.
We certainly hope so. But still on the track of college is paid for. It hadn't. He's worked his way through college, and that's a blessing. And
oh yeah, and I know y'all are so proud of him.
There's a lot of folks
he's accomplished so much.
You graduate from college and you're in debt for.
Oh, I know.
60 plus, sometimes $100,000 in education.
People are sometimes in their 40s and 30s, and they still don't have student loans paid for. They're still paying on them, which is crazy to me. But
he may be as old as I am when they finally give him that diploma up there, but it's going to be paid for.
That's right.
Good morning to you. We are Scotty Ray and Candace. As I said, if this is your first time visiting us, we do appreciate you dropping by and spending a little time. We like to know where you're watching from. Let us know that. Down in Gulfport, and let me just switch and just show this on the screen. They're looking for a teenager, the police department in Gulfport, in a drive-by shooting. So Gulfport is the same just like everywhere else in Mississippi, to where there are shootings and things that are bad in the town.
Right.
Gulfport is a part of that as well, but they were looking for an individual this morning of a drive-by shooting. And, used to, you wouldn't even put Mississippi and the words drive-by together in the same sentence, because it was almost like we were in, is the word Andy Griffith land? That we were separated.
We're called the hospitality state.
Yeah. And
I say that jokingly, but because everybody, has always been known to be, very nice, or most people are, Southerners, but gosh, it's gotten rough.
Only one way to end it, and that's society going, we're not going to have this. We're not going to put up with this in our community. Because if we step back and go, well, that's okay, and you let this go and nothing is done, then you have New Orleans on your hands, or Chicago. And we have been called Little Chicago a few times.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
While
it's time to take our city and our state and everything back.
Absolutely. As we said, we got special guests coming up tomorrow, and we're going to play a video of the girls that are coming, and we'll tell you who they are and the big play that they're going to be in. Coming up. We'll share that in a few moments. So hang around for all that good stuff there. And let's go now to the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They're going to be located right off the interstate, exit 151. You'll find them right by the railroad tracks. And surely, as you would like to go across those railroad tracks, a train will be there. But go inside and wait it out. Chicks are always on the prowl there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. They've got plenty to choose from. As we get ready for the fall season, they've got plenty going on over in the gift shop. Anything that you may be looking for Halloween, or you may have it for Thanksgiving, they've got those. Now, the big thing is that we all get excited about this time of year is deer season, and that is here. And they've got plenty of game cameras to choose from. And you can use the old traditional SD card. Maybe you like doing that. Some people do. Or you like the new, is the word thingamajiggles? Yeah, that shoot it to your phone.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to go, you don't even have to leave your house. You just look at your phone and you've got it there.
Yeah.
Maybe you need boots for deer season. They've got that, whether you're looking for the full upright boot or if you're looking for some Georgia half boots to keep your feet dry during the winter months. They've got those deck boots. And, well, they got plenty of corn there also. They can take care of you there. Triple corn, they've got that triple grip there, including the 50-pound bag of corn. And also, if you'll notice there in the background, they've got all of the deer scents and everything that you're looking for from the deer cocaine. If that's what you need, they've got that. I thought I'd already added those in to where you take a look at it. Flashlights galore, all of these things there for you, including pet supplies. They've got it for you if you still got that fly problem because they hadn't left. Check that out.
We do.
Deer season is here, though. Yeah, and you can't get
Every
around
time
it.
you open the door, there's like 5 waiting.
If you've got your disc ready to go, drop in and see them. They've got your seed, all of this ready to go. Triple clean wheat, if you're needing ryegrass, if you need any of the stuff that puts it in, makes it that extra stuff, they've got it for you at the Farm Supply. See them today. Corn and a whole lot more, including guns and ammo, all for you for deer season. See them today, Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
I was injured in a car wreck in my own hometown. I knew I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home. And if you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
I'm Mike from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. He got me $245,600.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Okay, let's ask this question. When did the world's biggest superpower have to ask permission from another country to do something? Yeah, that's a loaded question. The Taliban has agreed to let 200 Americans fly out by this afternoon. Agreed. Did somebody forget something here? This is America. They help tear down our place in New York.
Yeah.
They tore up some planes, and then we're going to ask them
For permission, to let our people come home.
Yeah, something is wrong with this big picture. When in schools now they want to say that was not terrorist and give them a different name that killed over 3,000 Americans.
Right, especially after they just, killed 13 of our soldiers,
Something is wrong with the big picture. I assume the problem would be the next time you go vote, remember all of this. I think you have to clean house to fix problems. And that's the only way this is going to fix, because it is rooted deep within our government, the people that no longer agree with, I'm just going to call it right and wrong in America.
Well, I mean, it's a mess up in there right now. I don't, with him asking for people to resign.
Oh,
that sounds for me.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, they can resign or they'll be fired.
You'd have to fire me.
Yeah.
It just, it's just, I sit back and I scratch my head and go, this really cannot be going on. And, whether yesterday we watched Richmond has fallen to a liberal government. Whether you agree with what the Confederacy was at one time, it was a part of American history. Robert E. Lee was probably the most Christian fellow that I've ever read upon. People can't really argue Robert E. If you know Robert E. Lee, you can't run the man down. He was such a devout American. Didn't believe in slavery whatsoever, never owned a slave. And yesterday they took down the statue of Robert E. Lee. And which I don't understand this is, right across the way, you have Arlington. And for those that don't know history, Robert E. Lee owned Arlington National Cemetery. That was his home. And in order to keep Robert E. Lee from going home, they started burying the dead in his front yard. That's what they did. And that became known as Arlington Cemetery. Robert E. Lee, they finally paid the family in, I think, 1903 for the home. But that Virginia here, the statue, his home here, and a shrine to him and the many Americans, why didn't they just pack that up and haul it up the hill and put it on his land?
Right.
And this is where I had to turn the television off, is when they broke out hacksaws and cut the statue up.
Oh, they cut it up.
They cut it up.
I did not see that.
Oh, my gosh. And just, you cannot destroy history. You know, not everybody's going to agree that he was a great fella. I understand it, but read history. Do a little study on him.
I can think of a lot of people that are not great fellas, and they got statues of them, you know.
But to cut something up and then it not just be transferred to somewhere else, shocking that America let that happen. And from what I understand, and this may not be true, all of that spray painting on the base of it will remain there, all that vulgarity in Virginia. And as they get ready for this, they're going to, you know, there's a time capsule underneath there that they'll dig up that was put there 1873. I'd have to go back and look at the exact year, but it's been there 130 plus years. They are going to put a new statue with, in time, the time capsule with COVID-19, Black Lives Matter pamphlets and all of this, and bury that. And in the next 130 years, when whoever it is doesn't agree with that, whatever they put there, they'll dig that up and move that also. History is history at the end of the day. And that I just wanted to say that. You can't tear down history. You become these governments of other countries that do bad things when that happens. Just small thoughts from my head this morning. So that happened yesterday. As we look at some other things, do you remember Dante Wright? Do you remember that guy? He was one of the ones that was pulled over by a cop. He resisted arrest, and during the struggle, he got shot. Was this the one that he had his mother on the phone, or just called his mother or something? That may be. I'd have to go back and read it, but that sounds familiar. Yeah. Well, it turns out after police got into this, you know, he was wanted for robbery is why the pursuit. He had robbed a woman of her rent, $900 the night before. And now they have found on his phone where he had a pistol the night before in a lady's bathroom bragging about what he had done on his own phone. Just some headlines there that are happening across America today. Let's say some good mornings. We got some folks tuning in. We ain't said hello to them. And that's just impolite, as they say here in Mississippi.
Good morning to Denise Burnside, and she said it's a beautiful morning. It is. And to Jetta T, good morning to you.
Hey, girl. Also, good morning to Sandy Cruz. Morning to you as well. Daniel Pilgrim. And Beverly joins us also. Thank you.
Chris Brannon, good morning. And Linda Culpepper, good morning. She hopes everybody has a blessed and terrific Thursday. And LaWanda Grantham, good morning to you.
Chris Brannon claimed to me in a text yesterday that he was going to bring us some of his specialty hot chocolate mix that he's invented that is supposed to be the greatest in the world.
I love hot chocolate.
He's got some
forward to that.
a caramel mix in his hot chocolate.
Oh, goodness.
I had it 5-10 years ago. But he's stingy with that stuff. Y'all don't think Chris going to just be handing that out. So we'll see if he comes true on his word.
So he'd give you just a little bit in the cup, just enough to make you mad.
That's like those girls that used to sell me when I worked with other people that had that peanut brittle from Clark County. It's like addictive. And
really?
For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the church, but it was south of Mathis Peaches, somewhere down in there, the church that sold peanut brittle. And them ladies can cook it. You buy one, and next thing you know, an hour later, you're back there trying to buy some more, and each day you're nibbling on.
Yeah,
you can't help
There's an art to doing peanut brittle. I'm not a good peanut brittle maker. Now, I do know I have a microwavable peanut brittle recipe, which I'm sure people would probably laugh at, but it's good. It really is good. But yeah. You have to get that just right, so you don't feel like you're going to break a tooth.
A circle like this for $2 or $3. So I can't remember the price, but have mercy. Michelle, where are you with your candy? see some more good mornings we need to say hello to.
Ann Downs McKee, good morning to you. And Bill Reinhart, good morning from DeKalb, Mississippi.
Well, let's see. Connie Johns joins us from the Meridian area. Denise Burnside is up, and she goes, Candace appears.
Yes, appears.
Like that. Good morning from Sugarlock, Mississippi there. Betsy Holly, glad to have you watching as well. And Sarah Neese is here.
Yes, Tammy Fleming says good morning from Bailey and taking 13 cases of water to West Lauderdale High School. And let's see, she needs prayer for some physical stuff going on with her.
We hope it gets better there.
Yes, we do. Patricia Boswell was agreeing with us about the carousel needs a new location. But Tammy Bellantoni, good morning to you.
I'm glad you said that. Also, good morning to Sheila Johnson. How are you doing? I think it's wonderful you watching us. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Along with Linda Jane actually has gotten out of bed and found her slippers, and she's all about it now.
Jeremiah Johnson's watching. Good morning to you. And Angela Dunnigan, she says good morning from Carmichael, Mississippi. And good morning, Miss Dixie.
All right, glad to have you there. Along with, let's see, Angela Key joins this morning. So loving the weather, she said. And it is. It really gets you, as you pointed out, to thinking of deer season and those fall afternoons of going out and getting to hunt.
Oh, I know.
Makes memories. If you've never done it, join it. And I must say it is an addiction. You will spend more money than you ever have in your life on anything.
I hope we get to hunt this year because, he got out of the lease thing. So
You better be finding a place to go.
looking for somewhere else to hunt. If y'all know anybody, shoot me a text or shoot me a message.
A little doodaddy there.
Yeah, a little thing.
Benji Brown, good morning. Also, Cindy Skipper jumps in there to say hello to us.
Ray Strebeck, good morning from Hickory, Mississippi. And Sue Thrash, good morning, along with Sandy Kaz. She says to bring our people home, and that is, we hope that we can get our people home. All of them, not just a few or a couple hundred. I think there's several hundred over there. Right?
I've heard those numbers we haven't been being told the truth of just how many people are, and I guess the word is behind enemy lines in Afghanistan.
Yes. I just wondered, did they get the students home too that were over there? There were some California students. I was wondering if they got to make it back home.
Yeah, wouldn't you hate to be out in the wild there? And, as you have people that go out and minister God's word, and you get into one of these little communities there with no communication, and you don't know all this is happening. And that could easily sneak up on you.
Yeah. That would be a scary, scary thing. It's awful, though. I just think it's better if you just stay. I mean, I know there's going to be people that travel anyway.
Stay home is what you're saying.
It's just better. It's just so unstable right now in other countries. I just think it's best if you stay on our, ground.
The only place I ever went to as a kid, we were in California, and we went right across the border there for a minute there. I guess that was, I don't even know the name of the little town. It was near Los Angeles, somewhere along in there, whatever border town, Sanford, down in that area there where Tijuana, that's where we went.
Oh, gosh.
That was different.
I bet.
I can remember at 6 years old going, woo, jumping beans. You ever seen those? I remember that.
Really?
They sold them all those kind. I don't know what you do with them. And that was the first time I saw a car that jumped up and down too. I thought the car had beans as a kid.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine why people think that's.
It was big in Mexico back in that was in the 70s when I was a kid, and now it's come to America. You see that everywhere now.
Yeah.
A little behind the trend there.
Yeah.
Also, Janice Bounds joins us. Glad you are up and at 'em today. Angela Dunnigan, thank you. Also, Milton Savell.
Brian Troy, let's see, something's being deleted from schools also. What were you talking about? I'm trying to think.
I can't remember.
I'm sure we were talking about a subject, but good morning, Brian Troy.
He's talking about what happened 9/11 is what he's talking about. It is being taken out of schools.
Why would you take that out of school? I mean, people need to.
It's conditioning. They don't want you to know.
I mean, we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Yeah. And that type of people will be bad. People can take over our country. Y'all remember this. They can. So just remember, vote, and vote when you should.
I really hope in 2024 we have,
a turnaround is what you're looking for.
Yeah, a complete turnaround. And I think we will. I really, people are sick of this mess already, and it's not even a year.
No, it has not been. We're, 9 months into it.
Yeah. It's been a disaster from the get-go. So.
Good morning to Josh Fitzgerald joining us there. Also, Sandy Gardner. How are you there?
Let's see. Trying to read your comments, y'all.
Angela Dunnigan jumping in there joining us. We appreciate that.
Alan Nicholson, he's watching from Tombsuba, Mississippi. And Jeannie McKay, good morning from Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Teresa Short, Lost Gap. That's always a beautiful place to go visit out at Lost Gap. Great place to go eat, too, there. Betsy Holly jumps in there. And Sharon Johnson, how are you?
Andy Barnhill, he says good morning. And Carmen Douglas, good morning to you.
Oh, she's one of them that used to beat me over there and buy out the peanut brittle before I could get there and then hide it in her purse. I know you. Don't you be acting like you wasn't, Carmen.
Joyce Godwin, she's in Long Creek this morning. Good morning. And Ray Bounds, good morning to you.
Also, Brian Troy is jumping in there. Let's see. Good morning from Karen and what's that word there?
Hadley.
Hadley Grace. I couldn't read that from my angle over here. I promise y'all I'm going to get my eyes checked one day.
Well, Valley Maloney's watching from Quitman, Mississippi. And Ed Mehrhoff, good morning from Arundel.
All right. Bill Ronhart is in there. Tijuana. He jumped right on it, remembered there, and I couldn't there. Keith McCary is joining us this morning. Also, Wanda Locklear. How are you doing? Oh, yep. And I have to say happy birthday to my wife. Angie Ray is celebrating her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Angie. I hope you're watching us this morning.
And I
if
was
not, I'll tell you when I come downstairs.
And I went and dug up some more Ray Dunn stuff for her.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to buy for somebody you've been married to forever because they buy what they want. But I got a Ray Dunn cup.
What's it say?
I don't know. It's something about fall, y'all. Fall, y'all is written on it, and it has a hood on it, a hat or something.
Okay.
She's like Ray Dunn nuts.
She's got everything Ray Dunn.
It's like,
if you don't know what we're talking about, it's like this, I don't know if you'd consider it pottery or
ceramic
or something, like
coffee
cups and all kind of different little things that have the like stuff on it.
And I warn you, this can slip into your family too before you knows what happened, and you too will no longer have money because they will spend all of it on that. I ain't lying. Y'all mark my word there. It's spreading across America.
So does the UPS guy know y'all by name now? Like first name?
He don't even slow down now. There it is. You got to go.
See you tomorrow.
It's constant. And apparently that stuff is hard to get.
Yeah. It probably is.
Well, people supposedly buy it and then resell it. And if you don't get it, you have to pay like triple of whatever it really worth. And I thought Ray was a guy for the longest, but from what I'm understanding, this Ray Dunn is really a chick.
Oh, okay.
And she spells it R-A-E instead of R-A-Y like I do. So who else admits that they've got a problem in their household? I think we need to have a counseling meeting once a week of the Ray Dunn Committee. Okay. It would help.
What was that pottery that everybody, Gail Pittman? Remember when everybody wanted Gail Pittman stuff?
I don't
Do you remember
that.
that?
No, I missed that.
That was
one.
another, like, she had a line of dishes and, canisters and everything. I had some of that.
That must have been when she used to listen to me when I'd say, don't buy something, when she would actually listen. Those days are gone.
Yeah, they are.
Good morning to Donna. Is that Gets?
Where are we at?
Right there.
I think Gets.
Yeah.
I think it is.
All right. We're trying to pronounce it correctly. Sorry about that. Paulette Tucker from the Harmony community. How are you today?
Yeah, awesome. Good morning, Miss Paulette. And let's see.
Joyce Snowden Godwin jumping in there.
Yeah. Everybody's telling Angie happy birthday. And
ain't she blessed?
Yes, she is. Mona Kinney. She says happy sweet 16 to her beautiful granddaughter, Abby Crago.
Yeah. Hope it's great there.
Yeah, sweet 16. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't. That was a blur. That was years ago. And I just don't think a 16th birthday to a guy means what it does.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Why is that important to a girl?
I don't know. It's just kind of a milestone, sweet 16.
I guess it'd be 18 or 21 for a guy that maybe means more.
Yeah.
All I remember about those two, I was working on both of them and nothing special.
18, everybody thinks. I don't know about y'all's kids, but mine thought that was the magic number. I'm 18. I can make my own decision.
You can't tell me what to do.
I was like, when you pay your own bills and you don't need to lean on anybody else to do it for you, that's when you're a grown up.
Yeah, and it's sometimes at 40 that still doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think a lot of people relate to that nowadays.
Gets. Donna Gets.
Well, and I apologize for not getting that exactly right that first time. as we go back down memory lane today, let's go back to 1890. This guy really, he's born on this day, and he really shaped America the way you eat. And who am I talking about? Well, the Colonel was born on this date.
Yes.
And you read his life story, he was a failure at so many things, just over and over, lost everything he had. But that recipe worked out for him there in the end. I think he was in his 50s.
Oh, really?
Before it actually hit for him, and he became the Colonel.
Well, I remember
Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, look at that.
Kentucky, I know. And like when I was little, I mean, this was a at least once a week meal at my grandparents' house. We had Kentucky Fried Chicken, and
it was it.
I know. And don't you think like the coleslaw was so much better back then? I don't know. It's
I don't eat coleslaw.
The recipe.
I can't.
Okay.
No. Yeah, everybody knows the potatoes were it on a stick.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we still get Kentucky Fried Chicken though.
The buildings have changed. They all used to have that little cone there. If you go by that store across from McDonald's in downtown Meridian, it still has that shape.
Yeah.
The roof, all of them used to have that. That's gone now. And then they threw that curveball. You want mild spicy? I just want the chicken.
Yeah.
I've never caught on to the different recipes.
Yes. Look, do you ever go to Cane's?
Yes, where the chicken trunk. Yes, I have been there.
The first time I ever pulled up to the little thing to order my food, and they said, chicken, 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 what combo you?
Is that what they say?
Yeah, they always have a different saying. I can't remember what they said the other day, but I always laugh every time. I'm like, I would hate to be that person on the other end. That had to say that over and over and over.
Now, I don't have the statistics, but I would almost venture to say that Popeye's chicken in the South has probably overtaken Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, I think their prices are a little less, on some things.
It's great chicken.
It is. All of them are good. I mean, look.
But statistically, I don't know who the king of the chicken is anymore.
Yeah.
I think Church's chicken has kind of faded through the years. It's not what it used to be. But boy, they've been in that one location forever.
Yeah, they have. They need to have more than one Church's chicken, because I don't know.
It's hard to get in and out of.
Yeah. But I remember when I was pregnant with Alden, I craved Church's chicken. And
just Church's.
Just Church's chicken. Because when I was younger, we used to get that all the time. It's the best chicken. I mean, it just was. And jalapeno peppers.
You can almost make a meal off of, just the skin off fried chicken.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that?
I know.
And then they try to tell you that fried chicken ain't good for you, and that's why you die early in the South. Don't they tell you that?
Well, you ain't going to die hungry.
But of course, Grandma's fried chicken was always great also.
Oh, yeah.
You just
couldn't beat the homemade, like the home-cooked fried chicken.
Now, as we come to the holidays, always remember this. If you have never done this, go buy one, that deep fryer thing to where you take a turkey and drop it in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the ground, but in the thing.
Yeah. Drop it in the ground.
But that skin off a turkey, I can't even explain how good that is.
It is. And if you inject it with the Cajun seasoning, you ever done that?
Yes, I have.
But I'll tell you what, if you don't know what you're doing when you do these turkey, have you ever seen some videos of mishaps with people catching the whole place on fire? And I mean, it's scary.
See,
you gotta kind of know what you're doing.
I don't cook, so I rely on people that know what they're doing.
Yeah. Some people put too much oil, and then when they put it down in there, it boils over, causes a fire. It's awful. So
I rely on our good neighbor Donovan. He is our specialty cook.
Yeah.
He's good at that
Chef
stuff.
Donovan.
Who remembers a guy named Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay? He was killed right before the song came out in an airplane crash. One of the first people that ever had a #1 hit immediately after they died. Of course, Hank Williams done, but he was also included in that. That was a big hit, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll by. I think that's how it went.
Watching the tide roll away.
Oh, away? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know it as well as he does.
Well, I just know because it rhymed.
Oh.
So I knew it. Yeah.
See, look at there. I'm just so off of it. One of our heroes, our childhood heroes, has a birthday today, and it's Tom Wopat, celebrating a birthday. He was born in 1951. He was known as Luke Duke, who never got to drive the car much.
Yeah.
I did see John Snyder yesterday afternoon. I have to give kudos to John, who was Bo Duke. They've been out in Louisiana feeding the power crews. They've been taking the Journal out and filling it with food and going out and feeding all the power crews. Great guy, has a lot going on in Louisiana, who's moved there. So thumbs up to John Snyder, good guy.
Yes.
If you've never had a chance to meet him, he is everything that you watched on TV of a good person. Ain't many, I'll say that about.
There is not many like that.
It's not. 1956, I was not around, but they say this was it on a stick that night. The Ed Sullivan Show came on television. And screaming girls from across America would sit in front of the TV and jump and shout and scream, and Elvis made his first appearance there. 1956. That was I want to say he sang, am I right, y'all, that have watched the show, that they brought out the hound dog and put it on a stool, and Elvis sang, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog to the dog"? Isn't that the show that they done that on?
They might have. I don't know. I do know that when he, just from watching stuff from history of Elvis, they didn't approve of how he moved.
Oh, no.
When he first, they
Them old
thought it was
hips.
vulgar. Yeah.
And they had many a meeting in many towns to outlaw things like that. Elvis the Pelvis, I think is what they called him. And shame, I've just been called out. I overlooked this, and I don't know how I did, but Mona Kinney pointed out that Chick-fil-A is the #1 fast food restaurant in the U.S. And why that slipped my mind, I do not know, because it is the greatest service, and they do deserve that award.
My youngest daughter worked for Chick-fil-A, and they are just great people to work for, I will say. I mean, they even give scholarships to like seniors in high school, and they worked with her. They'll work with young people with their schedules from school, and it was just a good place for her to work. And so, but as far as their service goes, they really they, drill it into their employees to say "my pleasure" when you say "thank you," "my pleasure." Leighton was saying "my pleasure" at home before it was over with. But they have good service. I swear, somebody said the military must train them. I mean, because seriously, they've got it together.
Bill Roundhart said one of his friends, that Ben Colley, was one of the only survivor of the plane crash with Otis Redding from the band there.
Goodness.
Let's see, what is that about Wendy's founder created the spinning KFC bucket? He was a franchise owner. I didn't know that. So that would have been Dave. Dave Thomas must have been involved in that before he started Wendy's. And his little girl would get that picture all across America. The first time I saw this next guy that's got a birthday today on television, he had a different accent, and I had to really focus to understand what the old boy was saying. And I want to say the movie I watched was 2 weeks something. Sandra
Bullock.
I think she was the star in the show, to where 2 weeks notice was the name of it.
Okay. I thought you were going to say the first time you ever saw him was in the news when he was in trouble with the.
I remember that too.
Yeah, that's what every time I see him, that's the first thing I think of.
But he speaks a little different than we do, and it did catch me a moment or two there to understand what the old boy was trying to say. I even stood New Yorkers quicker than I did him. But maybe you're a big fan of his. Is he a heartthrob to you? No. This guy is funny. We saw him on Saturday Night Live the first time that he made his appearance to television, but he's got a birthday too. Adam Sandler. And of course, the Happy Gilmore is probably my favorite show that I've ever watched the guy in. It really made golf interesting.
Yeah.
And don't take me wrong. I know there's a lot of folks that watch that love golf. It's not my thing. I've taken one swing at a ball and I missed it. And so he made it entertaining, though.
Yeah. I think I would like it if I knew how to really play golf. I dig the ground up when I go to hit the ball, if I even hit anything. Because I've swung the club and just missed everything that I swung at. So, I don't know.
Well, there you go there. I wanted to pass along condolences to a friend of mine. I just got a note that David Coates from Philadelphia, his mother, passed away. I've known David. I've known Miss Helen forever. And so I hate to, Helen McCool was her last name, and from the Philadelphia area. Sweetheart. Going to be greatly missed. So my condolences to the David Coates family there. I hate to even have to say that, but that's happening. She's been in ICU for quite some now with COVID, and it got her. God bless the family there. We're thinking of you.
Yes.
1975. This lady here, I'm telling you, was one of the most talented ladies that I have ever seen come out of the music industry, and probably the first time that we ever watched a documentary of someone slowly passing away. Every step of her sickness was documented. And I'm talking Joy Feek. What a beautiful young lady. And
she was, and could sing. I mean, she had the prettiest voice.
Her husband, of course, Roy, still goes on. They had bought a farm and they'd done concerts there. And their big song that they broke out with was Cheater, Cheater. Golly, that was great. Made friends with Naomi Judd. She helped them get started. He went on to write, and her husband's written many, many more songs, but Some Beach by Blake Shelton, he wrote that, her husband did.
I didn't know he wrote that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched their documentary, and it's just heartwarming. And he's raising their daughter that they had together,
Right.
Which has Down syndrome. Beautiful little girl. I mean, and you know, it's just so sad though to watch.
An interesting fact about her husband of a song that he wrote. The first time I listened to it, I thought, wow. And then I read the history of the song. And of course, this was not a number one song by any means. So you'll have to go to YouTube to find this because radio is not going to play it. But the name of the song is Josephine. And the house that they bought, he done the history on it, and he found a letter. It was built before the Civil War. And the people that lived in it during the Civil War, the husband writes home from the war of, I'm probably going to get killed, and I want you to go on with your life. Make sure whoever you marry takes care of our kids. And you sit back and you listen to that song, and it is just so heart-touching that somebody is saying, you know, I know my time is up.
Right.
And it describes his struggle of what he goes through each day just to live. But Josephine is the name of the song, and that's Feek. Look at his name is Rory, R-O-R-Y. Listen to that song. Touching.
I cannot remember the name of the song, but she recorded a song, and it was before she passed away. And it was like, it was
about the Bible.
Yeah, it was a song that she recorded before she passed away.
I know the exact.
Right, yeah. And I can't remember the name of the song, but it was a beautiful song. I do remember.
Grab your heart there.
Yes.
I don't know much about this old boy, but 1991 he was born. He's a singer now. He's doing real well. Hunter Hayes was born on this day. I remember seeing a picture with him when he was like 4 years old with Hank Jr. when he was invited up on stage. Talented kid. But he's got a career out there. So that's a little bit down memory lane this morning of what's going on. I hope some of that jogged a memory with you and you remembered a thing or two from years gone by. Let's turn our thoughts toward our friends at Godwin Cleaning Services. And if you've got a home or a business, these folks can really help you here in the Meridian area. They got a Mississippi office, Central Alabama office there, where if you've got an awning that needs cleaned up, outside of your office is starting to look bad. And this is low pressure. This doesn't come and take the hide off the building. It doesn't tear up anything. It's low pressure there, the newest chemicals there, the solutions there to make it look new again. They do this every day. They're out there window cleaning. If you need rust taken off your brick, they do that. Vinyl siding, and including metal buildings. This can build of about a 3-year period. It's going to look rough. You can get on a setup to where they can come once a year to do this, once every 6 months to make sure that your place looks great. Call them at 253-8262. Make it look new again. Roofs. This has been kind of like a learning experience for me to where you kind of get used to the dingy look and don't realize, well, my roof used to be a different color.
Right.
Yeah. They can put it back just the way it was when the home was built. Look at the difference there.
Gosh, yeah, it looks brand new on the
Shingle
bottom.
roofs, asphalt, slate roofs, whatever the case is. That had turned totally black, and this is what it really looked. It was a brown roof. So see them. They'll help you there, clean your brick, anything that you have there with the latest equipment there. That's Godwin Cleaning Services. Call them at 253-8262. Godwin Cleaning Services, they'll get your home looking great again.
Hurricane season is here, and like most Mississippians, you know the drill. Organize a severe weather safety kit, know how to safely use a generator, and have a plan of action to keep your family safe if a hurricane threatens. And when outages do occur, you can now report and view current outages through our free smartphone app or website at emepa.com. Remember, when storms come in, be ready if the power goes out. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
I was heading over to Meridian and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
We had Christy Skipper talk about her cousin is friends with Hunter Hayes' family there.
Yeah.
Like I said, well, I'm glad he's doing good. I brought this up early this morning, and at the last hour last night, Texas is known to take care of the bad guys. They throw the switch when you're set up. But the Supreme Court stepped in at the very last hour. This guy had killed somebody, stabbed him 29 times.
Goodness.
A few years ago. And his beef is that he wants his pastor in there when they execute him to lay hands on him as he dies. And it's been fought back and forth. And anyway, the Supreme Court now has agreed to listen to his complaint for his pastor to be with him when he's executed. And as I said this morning, the gentleman he stabbed 29 times did not get that honor, that privilege. Right. But that's happening in Texas. And Supreme Court stepped in. I think Texas, the state, would have rolled on with what they were doing. But we'll see how long that lasts. Britney Spears' daddy, this has been in the news everywhere, is speaking up and saying that he's ready for it to his conservatorship, is that how you said? To end. Yeah. Maybe they'll let her.
Oh, well, she was wanting out of it, but I've heard different things. I've heard that he was like taking money from her, I don't know, her finances. He was handling everything, and I thought I heard he was taking like $500,000.
That's a lot of cash.
Dollars or something.
Didn't she start out on one of the Mickey Mouse shows originally? The Disney Channel.
Like she did. Yeah, it seems like she did.
She really did well for herself.
She was a Mouseketeer.
And then you go back and you look at Miley, and you watch her on that TV show that she had, and she was so sweet and innocent, and was such an influence to young girls. And then you look at her now and you go, "What happened?"
I know.
She just went vulgar.
Yeah, the world gets a hold of people, sometimes when they get that fame and money and
her dad, Billy Ray, has to, I'm sure that in some sense, because she has achieved a lot, that he's proud of her in one sense, but can you imagine the things that his daughter has done publicly, and then you have to face the world knowing your child is doing that is not. I
don't think they have a problem with it.
Maybe they don't.
I really don't think they do, because I saw like a little, it was a video one time. It was about her mother. I want to say her mother does like design, fashion design. I mean, not fashion, but like interior design or something. She does something. And they had designed her house. And I don't think they have a problem with her.
Maybe so. Billy Ray has always seemed in person, and I've met him several times, real nice fella. But God bless him. We hope something works out for them. Now, let me show you a picture, because I saw this and I thought, I really can't tell the difference in between 1992 and 2021. Cindy Crawford, who knows who she is?
Yeah.
All right, she's 55 years old now. Let me show you this picture. She went back and recreated her Pepsi ad from 1992. And I'm telling you, I can't really tell it. This is 1992 right here. This is today.
Yeah.
Does she really look any different?
Gosh, no.
I mean, that is some kind of close.
Yeah.
That's
She's always been really, really pretty. So.
But that total, and now maybe she's had a bunch of work, or maybe she hasn't had a lot of worries in life. I don't know. But
she sells that meaningful beauty. Something
aging cream or something.
Yeah, maybe I need to order some.
Well, by golly, that's working. I mean, there's just literally.
Yeah.
I don't guess the pictures are doctored. I don't know, but she still got the figure, and I don't see wrinkles everywhere.
Yeah.
So thumbs up to Cindy Crawford for pulling that off.
I would have thought this on the right. Just looking at the Pepsi can, I would have thought that was an old one and this was a new one.
Yeah.
Even though she looks younger on the right, but the can, one on the can on the left looks more vintage.
That square. Maybe they used a vintage can.
Oh yeah, maybe
for the commercial.
Maybe,
maybe so. But yeah, the y'all remember the old pull taps?
Yeah.
Hadn't seen them in a while. Then they moved to the punch-in kind that I never really got right. And then you had to find a key when you really wanted your drink to beat that thing in.
I know. Like if the thing broke off.
And it happened.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
Yeah. Cindy sells skin stuff. Christy Skipper said.
Skincare, meaningful. I think it's called Meaningful Beauty.
Now, I've looked at Suzanne Summers, back when the guy broke in when she was selling her beauty stuff. I'm almost thinking Cindy's stuff is a little better.
Yeah.
I just thinking out loud. Yeah. But now for the I think Suzanne really is closer to 80, and
I don't know how old she is. She was the big thigh master. Remember the little tool that you put between your legs, and it was like an exercise thing. Yeah, thigh master.
Yeah, everybody watched that. So, and she's done well off of that.
I still want to call her Chrissy.
All right, let me stop that. I wanted to show this. These are some girls that are going to be coming to visit us tomorrow. There's a play in town at the Meridian Little Theater. And this is Rachel Thaggart, also Piper Gonzalez, and Maggie Freeman. And the name of the play is Back to the 80s. And I thought I'd play a little clip here of them coming in. Let me show here. They sent us a little video this morning teasing that they were coming to visit us tomorrow. And I have to go down and grab this, and let's hit this and play this now.
Okay. We're very excited to be on your show on Friday, talking about our show Back to the 80s. We can't wait. Yay! Yay! Fun!
So
cute.
They'll be in tomorrow to visit with us and tell us more about the play. It kicks off on Saturday night, and I think it runs through Tuesday. So glad to have the girls coming out. Again, that's Rachel Thaggart, Piper Gonzalez, and Maggie Freeman in their play in Meridian, and I hope you'll get a chance to go visit that.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Yeah. And I told them, I have never been inside the Meridian Little Theater as long as I've lived here. Never walked in there. Passed by it many a time.
It's a beautiful place. It really is. And, I was in a play back years ago, and it was fun. I'd like to do another one.
I'm going to send you on.
I'd love to do one.
I'll let you do it.
It's time consuming, though. I mean, you are out there practicing until 10 o'clock at night some nights. So,
they would tell me just go on home. Scotty Ray, you just go on back to the house. We'll call you.
But I met a lot of people, and got to work with Sydney Covington. She's a hoot. I mean, she is so fun to work with, and just really good at what she does. I mean, you can forget a part, and she's like jumping right in there and taking over, and you would never even know. I mean, she don't miss a beat. Yeah.
So that's coming next week. And for those who have been sitting up at night worrying about this, scientists have finally come up with this. Michelangelo, that great painter.
Yeah.
They say he was short. They've done a lot of research to come up with this.
They were.
They took his shoes and they figured out that he was 5'3" at most. If that has been bothering you, now you know the answer to that. I just thought I'd share with everybody else.
I was like an inch taller than him, and I'm short.
You'd have to look down upon him.
I would.
So Michelangelo, but there's a lot of people that they really like to know things like that. Yeah. So I shared with you. Let's talk about another thing that is good, and that's right here in Meridian. That's the precast group. Not all of the time do you think, well, I need a storm shelter. When you start seeing the clouds come, you go, woof. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is that subliminal thing I'm going to put in your head of who to call when it's time for you to do this. The precast group. They do this. Don't wait too late. Get yours today. They can help you out. They're on 145 here in Meridian. Come down, check it out. These are built right here. They can, if you're building a home, it can be installed before your home is built. Mm-hmm. If your home is already there, they can put it right outside, secure it. It will not go anywhere. It'll be tied down. It weighs 20,000 pounds. It's nice. You can design the inside of this any way you want to. You have two different models to choose from. You can use the type that is dropped in the ground or above ground. This is one in the hillside there. That's your air vents there. However you want to do it. It's just to keep you safe and peace of mind for you and your family to protect them. 482-0003 is the number to call. Ask them about these storm shelters. You'll be glad you did. Again, that's the precast group right here in Meridian.
I was heading over to Meridian, and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
I guess another movie is coming out, so it's coming back to light, chronicalizing Bill Clinton and what all went on at the White House. Yeah. Monica Lewinsky gives a updated interview, and she says she still needs a little bit more therapy over what happened. But she's not quite over that. American Crime Story is going to be the name of the show that's kind of featuring all of this.
So I saw some little ads for impeachment. So that is is that the story of... What is that? American.
Well, they were trying to impeach him.
Right.
And that's what they're going through, what all went on with that. They're going back.
Okay, well, there is a show called Impeachment, that's coming out that I've seen. So, I was wondering if maybe it was
it could be a tie-in, and I'm not quite sure on that. But she...
that was a mess.
The spotlight of America there for a little while there.
And, when Hillary ran for president, they had him on talking like nothing had ever even happened. I mean, if that had been anybody else, or it would have just been, they would have been banned probably from even coming.
And this is tying into the name of the movie is Impeachment: American Crime Story. This is going to be on the FX channel, and it's going to go deeper into this probably than any other TV show that has been. So if you're into that Bill Clinton, want to find out the details of that.
Yeah.
And I guess, to her benefit, it would be rough to go back through that. He was an older guy that led a young girl. He was the president of the United States. You can see how things can go.
I know, but
south.
too, you got to think, he's the president of the United States. Do you not think you were going to get thrown into the spotlight in some kind of shape, form,
I
or
don't
fashion?
think probably at that moment, she didn't think that it would ever come out, that it would just be a little secret until she told Linda. And Linda said, "Whoo, yeah, well, guess what? I know."
Yeah, and it wasn't like a one-time thing. It was
We only got one dress out of it, though.
well, I know, but
Did that end up
I think that was a
Smithsonian?
weekly. I think it was a, continual meeting of the two. So.
Yeah, but Clinton, he done and then denied it. And of course, I don't have to tell all y'all that. Y'all know exactly what went on. You lived through those days back in the day. Was he a great speaker? Absolutely. He charmed America, led America down the road, and that's kind of how she got into the situation. Smoking weed, they say, is not good for your heart there, just in case you want to do that. And I'm not talking the medical side of those that partake of it. On the illegal side, they say it's not good for your heart. They've been studying this and give adults heart attacks under the age of 45. Just in case you were getting ready to do that. Something for you to think about there.
Yeah.
Let's see. As we watch all of this, Larry Elder, the guy that is running up against Newsom in the California elections, that recall election out there for governor, did you see where he was attacked yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Walking down the street, and this group come in on him and started throwing things. This lady wearing a mask. Got kind of hairy there for a few moments out in California.
He seems like a nice guy too. Larry Elder.
Yeah.
What we were talking about? Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Seem to have had more sense than a lot of them that are running for that. So that's in the news. I don't know how to feel about this. We've got about 3 minutes, but a Florida doctor is refusing to treat any patient that has not been vaccinated. I don't think that's right.
No, she doesn't need. She needs her license revoked if she's.
You can't pick and choose your patients.
Right.
When you take that oath, you're there to help anybody. Now, it may not be your opinion what they ought to be doing, but that's getting to be nasty.
Yeah.
We'll see how that turns out. Again, you should have the right to choose. What you want.
Like I said yesterday, I'm just so tired of that. Even with if somebody, that's just what everybody focuses on. Were they vaccinated? Like somebody passes away. Well, were they vaccinated? Like, it makes you want to say, well,
But sadly, that I can see how, because it is the most controversial subject in America right now.
People are more concerned if they're vaccinated, more concerned with that than are they saved?
And I'm sure that your family's been asked that a lot also.
Yeah, they have.
With the course of that.
I said I'm going to start saying, yeah, he was, and just see what the response is. Now, what do you have to say to that?
There have been people that were vaccinated, especially elderly that had low-lying conditions. But I think it's human. Whether they mean bad or not, I just think it's the first thing comes to mind, and a lack of things to ask. As sad as it is, but that's a story across America right now.
But I guess I still had somebody yesterday that was, that people tend to think that just because you're vaccinated, you cannot spread the virus.
No, that's not true.
Not true.
You can still get sick.
Yeah, you can still. People are still spreading it whether they're vaccinated or not. They're just maybe won't get as ill.
Yeah, you're not as likely to be as sick with it and have to go in the hospital. Now, some do.
And I can understand people wanting, especially healthcare workers wanting people to stay out of the hospital. So they're not, having to see and deal with that. Because I can't imagine being a healthcare worker and having to deal with that on a daily basis. I know that would be very, very hard.
That's a few of the headlines this morning across America. And we want to say thank y'all for coming by and staying with us a few moments. We appreciate that. Yeah. We're coming back in the morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. You going to be here?
I'm going to be here and I'm going to try to be on time, you know.
We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for visiting us today.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by